Okay, we are beginning today the first of 3 parts of one lesson, okay? And it's on camera action, movement, and angles, all right? So with this comes an undocumented assignment, which something I want to ask you all to do. You guys probably watch TV at some point, maybe shows, maybe it's movies, maybe it's different things. What I want you to do is while you're watching these, I want you to start watching for camera movement. This is times when the character, like you're looking at me in the video right now, I'm moving. But this is when the camera itself is moving or panning or looking up or looking down. And I want you to start looking at these videos that you see on television, movies, production stuff, and start thinking about, wait, how did they do that? How are they showing that? Okay, and we're going to get into talking about all of this. That just gives you something really practical to think about. So let's just jump right into the lesson for this week. And boom. Okay, let's get you over to this. All right. Okay, camera action, movement, and angles. All right, so what we're doing really quick, we're starting a three-part thing, okay? This part right here, I'm just going to go over the 3-part lesson. You don't necessarily need to take notes to this first slide, okay? But part 1, I kind of want to see where we're going. Making movies, making films, doing video production is way more than just taking a camera, throwing it out on an interesting subject. You have to think ahead what you're going to do in the production. So, part 1, specific camera movement. What is the camera going to do? Why move the camera? Quality shots and movement. We're going to talk about that today. Part 2, we're going to talk about specific different camera angles. Horizontal angles, vertical angles, okay? What their names are, how you can use them, okay? And then we're going to talk about master shots. What is a master shot? Why do you have a master shot? And understanding the purpose of each shot. And then what we're going to do is we're going to leave these PowerPoint presentations for a little bit. We're going to do a lesson after you understand camera angles. We're going to plan out a short video together. We're going to write what's called a storyboard, very short. And then we're going to make a list of camera angles, and I'm going to demonstrate how you would shoot this. Okay? So let's just jump right in here. What we're doing today is we're going to talk about proper camera movement and understanding how to create what's called continuity, things working together from shot to shot. Okay? Going out and shooting video just isn't haphazard. Hey, oh look, these magically came together. Anything that you see on television, movies, the camera movement and stuff, it's all been planned. As a matter of fact, a lot of the movements now are computerized. All right, so 2 terms you need to know. Panning and tilting, write those down. Panning and tilting, to pan or to tilt, okay? So, to pan is to move the camera horizontally this way, okay? You don't pan up and down, you pan horizontally. Tilting is moving the camera vertically, okay? So let me just jump over here, and I have a camera. All right, I just have a camcorder on a tripod. All right, so if I'm going to pan, okay, I'm going to go this way and this way. This is how I'm going to pan. If I'm going to tilt, I'm going to go up and down, up and down. And every now and then you'll see something in a script, in a shooting plan, that it says pan tilt, and it'll say from here to here. And that's actually something like where you're like this, and you're panning and tilting at the same time, maybe going from somewhere up in the upper corner of a room to the opposite corner lower of the room, okay? Panning, tilting. All right, so lock in those two Lock in those two terms. All right. So making quality pans and tilts. It's not by accident, okay? You need to decide what you're going to pan to and what you're going to, where your camera movement, no matter what it is, what's it going to start on and what's it going to end on, okay? You decide, this is my first frame, this is my ending frame, okay? And it's always best to start with the ending frame. Practice, get your camera there, shoot it, get that ending frame, say, that's where I'm headed, okay? It's like a map. This is where I'm headed. So we're going to pan down and we're going to look at that ending frame. I'm going to demonstrate this in a minute, okay? And then you can come up and focus on that starting composition. What do you want in that very, very first frame, okay? So then when you're panning, you already know what you want over here. So when you get there, bam, it's just going to line up, okay? So again, thought out process. All right. Make the pan or tilt zooming, framing during the move, okay? If you're just panning, that's no problem. If you're just tilting, that's no problem. But if you're panning and tilting, okay, or you're zooming, do it while you're moving, okay? This is important. Zoom is a special effect, okay? You ever watch home movies? You know what home movies are? A lot of running around like a zooming in, zooming out, zooming in, focuses, zooming out, okay, like this. Watch the movies, watch television. You will hardly ever see a zoom. And if you see a zoom, it's being used in effect. It's being used as trying to draw your attention to this and then zoom in on something over here. It's an effect, okay? Here's why, and we can do this on video. You want to know zoom is a special effect? Okay, we can do this. Focus on my finger on the screen, okay? You see my finger? Okay. Now, without moving your head, without moving your body, without doing anything, I want you to zoom into my finger with your eyes. Can you do it? You can't do it, right? Your eyes don't zoom, right? What would you have to do to zoom in? You would have to get closer to the image. And that's exactly what you should do with the camera. If you want to, but I want to get closer to the image, then what you do is you steady the camera and you walk toward the person, because that's the natural thing that people will see. Okay? Zoom is a special effect. Okay? So when you're working with these things, you're going to be rehearsing timings. Okay? Rehearse. You're going to rehearse a script, right? The actors are going to rehearse. So what's the cameraman do? Just sit there while he's waiting? No, he's probably he's rehearsing too. Where am I going to end? Where am I going to start? Okay? You rehearse those, and then you make the move. This is kind of how to do it, okay? You rehearse it, then you make the move. Make your camera angle, zoom as necessary, but only when needed for effect, okay? I would like to take all zooms off of all cameras, okay? But you've learned it now. That's why I don't want to see any zooming, all right? Okay? And then moving the camera will do things like will enhance depth, okay? And I'm going to show you this in just a second, okay? So, plan all camera moves in advance. Start and end with strong compositions, okay? Start and end. So here's an example here, then we're going to go to the studio. All right, here we are. We have a rhino. We're going to pan over to this zebra, okay? So in our head, we want to do something like this, okay? We want to sit here and think, okay, I've got the rhino, the zebra, this is my beginning shot, this is my ending shot. See how the red is around the zebra? Start there. Really focus on that. See what you want. That's where I want to end up. All right? A little harder with animals because they move. Okay? So that's what we are. Yeah, that's what we are. Let me go ahead and get out of here. Now, we're going to take a walk. Give me a second. You're going to go to a kind of a weird screen here. And we're going to go over into the studio and we're going to talk about this, okay? So, as I'm walking over here to the studio, I'm going to do this just to show you. Where are you? Okay, we're over here now. So, here is what it's going to look like from the camera's perspective, okay? So, I'm going to, I was zoomed in. Just here, got my little Christmas background up here for our photos. So, panning, left to right. Okay, you see a lot of things that don't need to be in the shot, okay? Let's look at guitars. Because who'd you rather be with, guitars or people? I think guitars. Okay, so I'm going to pan from this guitar over to this guitar. This is the pan. Okay, let's go back out. A tilt. Okay, let's just say I'm looking at something on the wall here. I'm going to focus on the horse, and I'm going to tilt up to the top of the window. This would be a tilt. Somebody walks over here, reaches up to the top shelf. You might want to tilt. Okay? You're going to pan and tilt. Yes. And you can use the zoom as a camera adjustment if you have to. It's always better to have the camera closer. But if I was going to do a pan and tilt, I'm going to start up here in the corner, and I'm going to come down here. And I'm going to come and focus on this guitar over here. Okay? If I was going to add zoom to this, okay? Let me start over here. And let's see if I don't screw this up. So I start to pan and tilt. Yes, there we go. The last half of that was a little smoother. You got to get just get used to zooming. If I was going to zoom out and pan and tilt back to the center. Okay, so this is what you're looking at. Now, other camera movement. Okay, I'm a big fan of the tripod because you have something steady. But other camera movements, okay? I'll zoom all the way out here, okay? Now, here is what, this isn't really a pan because what I'm doing is I'm just dropping down. Now, I'm doing this manually, okay? I'm just dropping down like this, okay? Other movement can be from side to side. Now, remember what we talked about, okay? Video is two-dimensional. Depth is an illusion. So, how can I create depth here? I can move over to the side, okay? And if I do this, and I come around like this, and come up. Okay? Over here, kind of the same thing. Okay? Got to give the guitars equal time. Okay? So, one of the reasons, there's an earthquake. One of the reasons that I want you watching this on television, okay, is to give you an example, okay, of how it is actually used, okay. So this is lesson 1, okay, panning, tilting, okay. Not only know those terms, but also know that when you're using this, starting and finishing with what you already have decided you want in the frame. Okay? So that's it for today. We're going to jump into some specific learning angles next week and what they are and why they would be used. Okay? So until then, that's it. Have a great week. Take notes. Email me if you have any questions. And see you guys. We out.